Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about primates. I am not going to present this entire slideshow because I think a lot of it is self-explanatory, but I am going to highlight some areas and probably some areas that it would be very wise for you to study more thoroughly. Also, I want to point out that you should watch all of the videos that I have posted for both this primates chapter and the cognition chapter because I include them because they're helpful and because I ask questions about them on the exam. So the first point I'm going to make here is that primates are very difficult to define. There are lots of different kinds of primates and they are very varied, but you can take a look quickly and say that they're mammals. They're part of the subgroup of placental mammals. That doesn't include things like platypus that lay eggs. They have hair. They have a relatively long gestation period. They maintain a consistent internal body temperature. They have an increased brain size. In addition, primates have different types of teeth: incisors, canines, premolars, molars, just like humans do. Considerable capacity for learning and behavioral flexibility. The three types of primates we're going to focus on, well, I mean, there are only really three types that get divided out: prosimians, monkeys, and apes. Monkeys are divided into Old World and New World monkeys. There are also lesser apes and great apes. There's different kinds of prosimians. These are some of the things that I'm going to expect you to know for the exam. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Again, I think that these are mostly self-explanatory, and there's nice pictures of the teeth there. One point to make: maturation and learning. If you look at this graph, you can see that there is an increased as you go from prosimians to monkeys to apes. You see longer and longer and longer infancy periods and learning periods, basically, and that culminates in humans where we have a much, much longer infancy, childhood, adolescence than we tend to see otherwise. In general, primates are diurnal, but they have this incredible flexibility in behavior. This is actually a Japanese snow monkey carrying a snowball. They don't have snowball fights, but they bring them into hot springs with them. The proboscis monkey is one of the very few monkeys that swims. Most of them sink quite quickly because their muscle density is very, very thick. It's about 7 times as great as ours. So you have variety of behaviors in a very small group of species, suggesting that it's not just about group behavioral flexibility, but about individual behavioral flexibility, that they can learn and adjust very quickly, and that's one of the key features of what a primate is. There are a couple of evolutionary theories about how primates evolved. One of them is the arboreal adaptation hypothesis, basically saying that the arboreal adaptation is the primary factor. It's selected for 3D and color vision because they had to see through the leaves and see where the branches were. They had grasping prehensile feet and hands so that they could climb the trees, and it meant that they had varied food so that they had to adjust their behaviors. On the other side is the visual predation hypothesis that suggests that they first evolved in bushy forest undergrowth and they had insect diets, so they had grasping hands and vision for grabbing insects, and tree jumping became later because they already had those adaptations. We don't know which of these is correct. They both have their points that are very possible, but we can't look back in the past and see exactly what happened. But we do know that primates are primarily tree dwellers, and whatever traits their ancestors had pre-adapted them for that arboreal existence. So I should point out, most primates spend at least a part of their time in trees. That includes great apes, like bonobos, who make nests very high in trees, and chimpanzees. General geographical distribution: the New World primates tend to be in South America, Central America. Old World primates are actually split. You can see some in and around the Mediterranean, but most of them are in Africa and in South Asia. Again, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because I want to go to the taxonomy question. This is important because this is something that will definitely be on your exam. You will need to know this. In particular, you will have something resembling a primate family tree that you will be expected to fill in. It does not have to be exact. You don't need to know the spelling of Platyrrhini, for example. But you do need to know something about each stage in the primate family tree. So let's go through it. At the top, we have the order, which is Primates, and that's split into prosimians and Anthropoidea. Anthropoidea these are suborders. So prosimians include the lemurs, the lorises, the tarsiers, and those are the ones that you would see at the bottom of the prosimians line there. Anthropoidea is split into Platyrrhini, which are the flat nose, that is, the New World monkeys, and the Catarrhini, which is the downward nose, or the Old World monkeys and apes. Catarrhini is split into Cercopithecoidea, which are the Old World monkeys specifically, and Hominoidea. Hominoidea includes the lesser apes, the great apes, and the hominids, which are the family that includes humans and the extinct members of the Homo genus, that is previous human ancestors that have died out evolutionarily. So that includes things like Neanderthals or the Homo erectus, things like that. So these are confusing labels, right? Hominoids include the apes, hominids don't include the apes. And humans, our species, of course, is Homo sapiens. That means the thinking Homo, which I think is kind of unjustified. But in any case, we'll move on. So at the bottom, what I'm going to want you to have are not just prosimians, old world monkeys, etc., but actually species names. So that only starts in this graphic with the lesser apes. Gibbons and siamangs as lesser apes. The great apes including orangutans, gorillas, chimpanzees, and bonobos, and then the humans. But for New World monkeys, I want examples. Maybe a spider monkey, for example, or a capuchin monkey, the tamarins, there's plenty of options. And then prosimians, lemurs, lorises, tarsiers. Remember that the taxonomy is split up into kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Maybe you remember that from biology as King Philip came over something on a ship, right? Isn't that right? I don't remember. In any case. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. Note that humans and chimpanzees split up at the family level, with hominids being our family and pongids being the chimpanzee family. This is not very well justified by the fossils, and in fact, there are plenty of people who argue differently about how our family tree should be split. And that just shows the system isn't perfect. Studies of orangutans show that the chromosomes are way different from African apes. African apes are much closer together. Humans and chimpanzees are the most closely related individuals based on DNA studies. Well, humans, chimpanzees, and bonobos. Then gorillas, who are also African apes. Then orangutans. All right, so I'm moving into this where you can see where we split up and go into a survey of primates, but I'm mainly going to show you that there are links for videos, and those links are also on the chapters. Remember to watch all of these. They have a lot of good information. Plus, this one, True Facts of the II, is very funny. You can find all of the true facts. They're quite good. I wanted to move to the great ape area, just because I want to show this picture. So hominoids. One of the arguments for the similarity of humans and the other great ape species is our skeletal structure. We are exceedingly similar once you look beneath the skin. So the only explanation that I want to leave you guys with here is that this goes from the left to the right. Humans, gorillas, chimpanzees, orangutans, and then a gibbon or a siamang, I'm not sure. But these are the ape species, these are the hominoids, and this is why we consider ourselves most closely related to them. Finally, at the end, Demonic Apes. This is a movie. Hopefully, this link will work. If not, I will replace it in the class files. This is a longer movie, but it will give you a lot of information. It's an older movie, but it'll give you a lot of information about great apes. Okay? I hope you enjoyed the chapter. Hope you enjoy the next chapter as well. Let me know if you have any questions.